in here is suitable for general family viewing.
Right, good evening, and of course it is afternoon actually, and this is on the sports show, the best show actually in the land. Well, today we have plenty lined up for you. First of all, we have a couple of the Kenya Premier League fixtures for you, the English Premier League fixtures for you, and we'll be taking a look at that and everything in between, and all things that goes into between. And another thing that actually we have been tracking, and this is the Africa Paris qualifiers. That is the match between Elizabeth and Diego, and of course Hadija El Mahdi. And of course, there was that big fight that many people were expecting, and we were expecting maybe probably this one will go with this gold. However, Kenya settled for silver, and that is and Diego was defeated by the world, that is El Mahdi of Morocco. But good news, we have already qualified for the Olympic Games that will be held in Paris next year. So that is good news. And on another front, of course, we have the ongoing another yet Africa qualifiers. I'm talking about the rugby qualifiers, the rugby sevens, where Shujaa are actually in their quest to hunt the ticket to represent Kenya in the Olympic that will be held in France, that is in Paris next year. So a lot of things are happening right now, and remember, we still have a couple of matches that will be played in the Kenya Premier League today, and those matches will begin at exactly 3 p.m. and we have still an early kickoff that is between Kenya, early kickoff, that is English Premier League kickoff, and the early kickoff will be between Wolves will be playing against Liverpool. So those are some of the games that we are following, and actually we are tracking closely. And of course, another trending that has been happening, there has been a lot of talks about the much anticipated the Football Kenya Federation elections, and there is at least a couple of 4 candidates that have already shown interest into this seat, and they'll be wanting to actually succeed the current president, Nick Mwendwa, whose term will expire next year on February. That is when the elections will be held. And the very interesting thing to actually take a look at this is the fact that the former Football Kenya Federation boss, Sam Nyamweya, has already thrown his hat in the ring, and he wants to actually vie for another term to take the mantle of Football Kenya Federation, the governing body, the local governing body. And one of the things that he said was that after thorough consideration and of course consultation with the stakeholders, he thinks the state of Kenyan football is actually heading down the drain, and he wants to revive the sweet game, the beautiful game that many loves. And he thinks currently right now things are not moving as he would have expected. That's why he has offered himself as the candidate. And another very interesting name that has popped up is the name of that is Sam, that is the former Gor Mahia player and of course Harambee Stars international player, who's also one of the guys that will actually eyeing to click this particular ticket. Another surprising name is Samuel Ochola. This is the Secretary General of Gor, who still wants to actually, take the mantles of the local football governing body. So these are some of the stories that we'll be taking a look at them just to give you what is happening in terms of the race to actually succeed Mwendwa. And we'll be taking account of the state of Kenyan football since he took over, that is in 2016, 8 years ago. And of course we'll track and we'll try to follow up what has changed and what has remained the same. So that is our discussion that we'll be having later on with my panelists. We'll be taking on, and they will be joining me just in our subsequent local and international sports review. But remember, we have a big interview that will be talking to Takid Master about matters to do with kickboxing. And there is the new discipline that is being introduced, and actually the federation will be launched I guess earlier on this month, and that is the motor combat sport. So he'll be here to talk to us about this the extreme motor combat sport, what it entails and what does the future actually hold for this sport. Well, but before that, let's take a look at our highlights, some of the news that we have actually pinpointed to give you, or rather to form the basis of our show today. Welcome back, and shall we begin the show now? Let's take a look at what has just happened, the match between Hadija El Mahdi and of course one of our very own Elizabeth Andiego. Well, Hadija El Mahdi proved to be too strong for Kenyan boxer Elizabeth Andiego in the final match of the boxing qualification tournament for the 2024 Olympics in the African zone held at Dakar Arena Sports Complex in Senegalese capital. El Mahdi defeated Andiego by a score of 5-0. El Mahdi's victory earned her the gold medal at this qualification tournament and an automatic ticket in the upcoming 2024 Olympic in Paris, France. She will now be joined by her fellow Moroccans Wydad Batal and Mutaki Yasmin, who secured their Olympic qualifications on Thursday. Right, all is not lost. Of course, remember Kenya has already qualified. That is, Elizabeth Andiego has already qualified because the direct qualification spot for female goes for the first and the second. That is by the virtue of clinching the silver. She has already qualified, and she will be representing Kenya next year in the 2024 Olympics that will be held in Paris, for the first time after the last time she featured was in 2012. It has been over 10 years of wait, and finally the joy. Now from, of course, boxing now to rugby. The 2024 Kenya Rugby Sevens head coach, that is Kelvin Wambua, believes that Shujaa players have what it takes to seal an automatic slot in the next year's Olympic Games in Paris, France. While speaking to press, Wambua said that the 7-week training period has addressed failing that the team had last season, including their defensive play and attacking runs. Shujaa will take on Namibia, Zimbabwe and Nigeria in Pool B in the Africa Rugby Sevens Cup, which double up as the Olympic 2024 qualifiers in Harare, Zimbabwe.
Have qualified automatically. So that's a challenge. Also, the reason that they didn't qualify automatically means anybody can win. It's just how you approach the tournament. Like I said, first of all, it's all about belief. If you put in the hard work, you just have to believe in yourself. So for us, our approach again, we will take a game at a time. We have done our individual and team profiling for our opponents, and I believe when we meet South Africa, we'll be ready for them.
That was, Kevin Wambua, the national head coach for Kenya Sevens, just, giving his views concerning this particular big test that awaits Shujaas. Remember their first match, they had their first match a couple of hours ago. They still have another one that is currently ongoing, and they will be closing the chapter later on with a match against, Namibia. So we are still keeping track of what is happening there. And of course, we wish the team all the best, even as they hunt this ticket. Remember, they will be up against the best of the very best. Remember, the top seeded team in Africa, that is South Africa, is still in this race, and they are hunting this ticket. Remember, they failed to qualify directly by the virtue of, gaining automatic ticket by the virtue of being the first top 4 teams in the just concluded World Rugby 7 series that concluded. So by the virtue that they finished 7th, this means they will have to actually compete for this ticket, and they are in this particular competition, and they are hunting this ticket. So it is a race against time, and actually, it will be blood, sweat and saliva. And we wish our team all the best, because we know they have what it takes to clinch the ticket. And now, let's move on. Race to Succeed Football Kenya Federation President Nick Mwendwa is gaining momentum 6 months to the election, with 4 candidates already declaring interest in the converted seat. Gor Mahia Secretary General, that is Samuel Ochola, former Kenya International Sami Owino, and former Football Kenya Federation President Sam Nyamweya are among those who have thrust their hearts in the ring. The tenure of the current regime is expected to come to an end next year in February, setting the stage for elections.
Is being trained, is more players being handled by trainers. The whole world.
I want to show you now what to do.
That is, quite a very strong team. Of course, the candidates just showing interest into this seat, and they want to actually change the affairs, or rather the state of Kenyan football right now. Well, we will just have to wait and see. Remember, it's 6 months down the line, or rather 6 months before that particular election that will be held in February next year. We'll wait and see how many will turn up and how actually things will unfold. Now let's move on. The just concluded Africa Football Business Summit, organized by the Football Foundation for Africa, that is FFA, in Nairobi, emphasized on the need for African countries to step up and set up a good foundation as to harness their football potential while fostering unity and development on the continent. Brazil's ambassador to Kenya, Salvio Albuquerque, was among the speakers and said rather that Africa has great talent that needs well established foundations so as to nurture and actually tap into those talents.
transform the reality of football using some of the examples coming from Brazil, especially changing amateurism and the way football is run by professionalism, as we are doing in Brazil since many decades.
As football people, we should not always be talking amongst ourselves. We need to engage the corporate sector, we need to engage government so that they see the value of what we are trying to do, and it's only in so doing that we'll be able to create an ecosystem that works, an ecosystem that functions. But if we're only having this conversation as the people in the sports space, then where do we take the outcomes of this, or what outcomes do we have? They'll be very one-sided.
Investment in sports is definitely, a plus in terms of just improving infrastructure, making sure that we can accommodate more in terms of just where sportsmen and sportswomen train, ensuring that the private partnerships, sponsors, corporates need to come on board. So indeed, this is a timely conversation at a time when Africa is rising.
Right, indeed, those are quite noble initiative and actually dream to take African football to the higher heights and level that it deserves. Wish the team all the best. Well, the Football Kenya Federation Premier League side resumes today with several matches lined up. Kakamega Homeboys will go head-to-head against Tusker FC at Buhungu Stadium, while the new boys in the league, Shabana FC, play against Kenya Police as both teams seek to get their first league wins at Raila Odinga Stadium, that is in Homa Bay County. And FC Leopards will lock horns with Muhoroni Youth at the Moi International Sports Center Kasarani. In tomorrow's clash, defending champions Gor Mahia tackles, or rather will tackle Nairobi City Stars at the Moi International Sports Center Kasarani, while Kariobangi Sharks will round up the weekend fixtures against fixtures, of course, when they lock horns with the KCB at the Kasarani Annex Stadium from 3:15 p.m. Okay, so let's switch focus now to international football, or rather the English Premier League. Now, the English Premier League action returns today after a 2 weeks break, international break, with 7 matches on the card. Wolves will host Liverpool at the Molyneux Stadium in the early kickoff fixture, while Manchester United will look to bounce back from their 3-1 loss to Arsenal when they welcome Brighton at the Old Trafford. And defending champions Manchester City will travel to London Stadium to tackle West Ham. In tomorrow's matches, Bournemouth will play against Mauricio Pochettino's side, that is Chelsea, and Everton will lock horns with Arsenal at the Goodison Park from 6:30 p.m. Kenyan time. Now from football, now let's go to some awards that was played there, and this is the FIFA Player Awards nominees. Well, the FIFA has named, announced the nominees will battle it out for the World Football Governing Body FIFA's Best Player Award. Manchester City and, of course, Norwegian striker that is Erling Haaland is among the nominees in the male's best category award after lifting trembles of trophies with Manchester City, including the Premier League, the FA, and, of course, the Champions League. Well, Messi and Kylian Mbappe are among those who has been rather nominated for that same prize in the males category. In the best coach category, Pep Guardiola was selected after leading Man City to the treble last season, alongside Simeone of Inter Milan and Xavi Hernandez of Barcelona. Other categories up for grabs include best goalkeeper and both female and coach awards. Right, well, as far as the highlights are concerned, we are done. So the next thing that we'll be taking a look at is, we have a couple of fixtures here that are lined up for you. That is the Kenya Premier League fixtures. And remember, the first match that today on Saturday will be against Bandari FC will play host to Lindsay Stars at the Mbaraki Stadium, while we have Kakamega Homeboys will tackle Tusker FC. Remember, then we at Buhungu Stadium. Then FC Leopards will be up against Mohoroni Youths. Then Zoya Sugar will play host to Bidco United. And then Shabana FC will be seeking to actually register their first win of the season when they welcome, that is, Kenya Police at Raila Odinga Stadium. On Sunday, the 17th of September, Posted Rangers vs Sofapaka match that will be played at Kasarani Annex. Then Talanta FC will play host to Moranga Seals, the current league leaders, at Moi International Sports Center, Kasarani. Then we have Kariobangi Sharks will play host to, or rather will entertain KCB at Kasarani Annex. Those matches will be played on Sunday. Remember, we have Gor Mahia, the league leaders, will play host to, or rather will entertain Nairobi City Stars. So those are the fixtures that will be played on Sunday at the Kenya Premier League, as both teams seek to actually extend, rather some will seek to actually register their first win, a team like Shabana and Kenya Police. Well, let's now take a look at the English Premier League fixtures, and we have now the early kickoff that is just 15 minutes away, actually. The first match will be against Wolves, will play host to Liverpool. Then we have later on at 5 p.m. that is Aston Villa will take, or rather will entertain Crystal Palace at Villa Stadium or Villa Park Stadium. Then we have Fulham will play host, or rather will entertain Luton Town at Craven Cottage. Then another match, Manchester United will actually welcome Brighton at Old Trafford. Remember, Manchester United will be wanting to bounce back after heavy defeat 3-1 against now that beating came at the hand of Arsenal. Well, at the hands of Arsenal. So rather on, then Tottenham will play host to that is Sheffield United at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium at 5 p.m. Then later on we have West Ham will play host to Manchester City. Remember, West Ham has had some good outing this time round. Will they be able to keep up with the momentum? Time will tell. It's just a matter of hours before we actually see what will happen between these two teams. Now, Newcastle, they first, of course, made a very strong statement against their opening match when they played against Aston Villa, actually thrashing 5-1. But their second match was a disaster. Same to their third match, very disastrous campaign. Will they be able to now turn their fortune? Well, they'll be playing against Brentford at 7:30 p.m. at St. James Park. Then on Sunday, we have Bournemouth vs Chelsea. Remember, Chelsea is another team that they have invested heavily. one of the richest team actually, if I can talk about Chelsea, the Blues, and actually one of the most successful team in England. I know many will argue, but that is how it is, Chelsea. And right now they are having, a bad season, but it's just normal. Slow start to the league, but better days are coming. So Chelsea will entertain Bournemouth, or rather Chelsea will travel to Bournemouth. That is at Vitality Stadium tomorrow at 4 p.m. Then Everton will play Arsenal. Arsenal, silence. The noisy neighbors. That is Manchester United. And right now, it is we'll just have to wait and see what they will do against Everton. Remember the match between Arsenal and Everton. This is a match of high intense. And actually, this is that match will be played tomorrow at 8:30 p.m. So that is as far as this particular fixture is concerned. So those are the English Premier League fixtures and the Kenya Premier League fixtures. And now, let me just, read to you our question of the day. And we are asking, do you think Shujaz has what it takes to actually qualify for the 2024 Olympics that will be held in Paris? Do you think Shujaz has all what it takes to actually qualify for the 2024 Olympics in Paris? The team is currently underway, and they are hunting their tickets to actually represent Kenya for the third time in a row. Remember, in Rio 2016, then we had Tokyo, and now Paris. Will they clinch that ticket? They'll be up against big teams. Remember, we have the rugby powerhouse. I'm talking about the likes of South Africa. Then we have Africa champions Uganda still in that same mix. Actually, the ticket, all eyeing for that one sole ticket. Well, do you think Harambee Stars, or rather, do you think Shujaz or Kenya Sevens has what it takes to actually clinch the ticket? That is our question of the day. Remember, you can talk to us on all of our social media platforms. We are live on YouTube at KUTV Kenya. You can tweet us at KUTV _ Kenya and at AUMA events. Remember to use the hashtag on the spot. Now, we take a short break. When we come back, we'll be diving into other stories, including, of course, our subsequent sports review. And remember, we still have a big interview lined up for you. We'll be talking to Takid Master. This is the World Kickboxing Federation Kenya president. Will be just give us some few 1, 2, 3 things as far as this extreme Mortal Kombat sport is concerned. So we'll be talking to him just to give us some highlights of it. And now that they are planning to actually launch the federation early this or rather later this month, so we'll be keen to actually follow up on what the future holds for this sport and how it will actually transform the lives of athletes in the country. So stay tuned for that.
I'm Associate Professor in the Institute of Philosophy of Jagiellonian University in Krakow, Poland, and I'm the main coordinator of the CAFE project, which is being here hosted by Kenyatta University.
My name is Eva Hudoba. I am a project manager in this consortium. Keep watching cutting-edge research at Kenyatta University Television.
The Lord is the beginning of wisdom.
The Bible says, when he spoke, then he spoke a parable to them, that men always ought to pray and not lose heart.
Christ says, I stand in the door and I knock. Whoever hears my voice and opens, I will dwell with him.
Like the moon, I will fade. And like the star, I will rise again. And though I fall, be rest assured that I will rise again.
Go to the hospitals, tell them that God will heal them. Go to the prisons, tell them that they'll be free. Go to the crusades and tell people that Christ is coming, and sooner than the word itself, is the second advent is imminent.
Maelfu na maelfu ya wahamiaji wakiwa na watoto kutoka nchi za Amerika ya Kati wanaendelea kuwasili kwenye mpaka kati ya Marekani na Mexico.
But folks, I'm going. Thank you very, very much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Ni habari kutoka pembe zote duniani.
Pipopa si vuguvugu. Pipopa ni idea.
Tazidi ananyonya, hanyonyi vizuri, anakuwa hayuko comfortable.
Jeshi la Jamhuri ya Kidemokrasia ya Kongo linapambana na waasi wa ADF.
Kwa sasa wanatoa wito kwa mashirika, makampuni na vile vituo vya uchukuzi.
Mambo mengi yatakwenda kama yalivyopangwa.
Hapa ni kuna mmoja wa viongozi wa chama cha wavuvi katika eneo hili.
Zaidi tunajaribu kuwapa chanjo ili ina boost ama inanyanyua kinga ya mwili, ndio inaenda kupelekea kupambana na virusi.
Ni duniani leo, Jumatatu mpaka Ijumaa, moja kwa moja kutoka VOA Swahili, Washington DC.
You know, reggae music wasn't the most popular music in my neighborhood growing up. And I discovered it on the radio, and from the first moment, just couldn't stop listening.
Many people express themselves through music.
Music is a freedom of expression.
We want the music to reach the people.
They see me smile, but they don't know what I feel inside. Traffic all I bring from the beginning. I gave you my heart, right from the start. Don't break it, sorry. I gave you my heart, right from the start. Don't break it. Why not be
I'm an African. So when you are sad and you listen to this song makes you happy, feel encouraged. The song gives you hope for a bright future.
I'm an African.
Message the world. All talent, there's always room for improvement. To have faith.
We can be lazy and wait until it's over, or work hard and, try to be ready whenever there is something to do. We can just be on point.
So we need to join hands and realize that together we can achieve.
For John so loved this world now, he gave his only begotten Son. Whosoever will believe in him should not perish but live. God did not send his Son to come free, condemn this world, but through him this world might be saved. Oh my children, give me
Kutoka kuwa jamii ya kuhamahama na sasa kujumuisha kilimo katika mitindo yao ya maisha. Kwenye toleo la kaunti ya Narok, hii ni Boresha Kilimo, kwani afya bora ni kilimo bora.
Kwani kilimo ndicho huboresha maisha.
I'm your host, Esther Becky.
And my name is DJ Tero.
We start you off with a word of prayer and get you started with a live transformational worship experience. And have our minds renewed by the word of God on the word segment.
And not forgetting new music za hii wiki, yani ndakuwa bado nawapatia pale wasanii wamekuwa kiwakali. So make sure manzo tune in because zitakuwa zina flow pia pale mixes kwa wingi, yani zitakuwa zina come through, and pia performance yani from our gospel artist hapa on Gospel Art.
from 7
to 10 a.m. only on KUTV.
As you said, ignorance is not a defense. So how can one know without, crossing the bar on some of these issues?
I think before 2006, these offenses that amount to sexual offenses were categorized in the Penal Code. But the Sexual Offences Act was enacted in 2006.
Reggae music wasn't the most popular music in my neighborhood growing up. And I discovered it on the radio, and from the first moment, just couldn't stop listening.
And many people express themselves through music.
Music is a freedom of expression.
We want the music to reach the people.
They see me smile, but they don't know what I feel inside. Traffic all I bring from the beginning. I gave you my heart right from the start. Don't break it. Sorry. I gave you my heart right from the start. Don't break it. Wanna be I'm an African.
So when you are sad and you listen to this song makes you happy, feel encouraged. The song gives you hope for a bright future.
Message the world.
All talent, there's always room for improvement.
To have faith.
We can be lazy and wait until it's over, or work hard and, try to be ready whenever there is something to do. We can just be on point.
We need to join hands and realize that together we can achieve.
For John so loved this world now, he gave his only begotten Son. Whosoever will believeth in him should not perish but live. God did not send his Son to come free, condemn this world, but through him this world might be saved. Oh my children, give me
Technology, science, innovation, ICT and research. These are the ingredients upon which the solutions to the 21st century problems are founded. In a world that is rapidly changing, it's all hands on deck to ensure a balance in all fields of life. Women, young and old, are also in the front line, breaking the glass ceiling, becoming thought leaders in the larger tech space. Not forgetting other societies marginalized. And when the tech Avengers come together, we inch closer to a much safer, efficient, and sustainable world. What we view as a norm in today's advanced world was just an idea, and for nostalgic reasons, we trace back to the iconic days to bring you the retro tech. On Tech Innovation Show, we encapsulate all the pillars of the fourth industrial revolution, decoded in a language, all for one for all. Every Monday at 8:30 as we push the mantra, keep learning something new each and every day. Only on KUTV, a new experience.
Right, welcome back. And now that the big conversation that we were supposed to have, now is the time. And of course, I'm joined by Takid Master. This is the World Kickboxing Federation Kenya president. And today we are taking a look, or rather we are having a discussion based on the extreme combat sport. And we just want to get some few insight about what it entails, And actually, what is the future for the sport itself? Well, thank you so much for making time.
Yeah, I'm thankful for KUTV for always hosting us.
All right.
Yeah, on this show.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, this extreme combat sport, give us perspective. Tuweke sawa. What does it, mean? Is it another sport?
Yeah.
Or is just, an explanation version of what is happening?
Okay, what's here is that I think most people are a bit confused. I had to launch it some months back, but I decided to take time, first of all, to have our own official logo also. World Kickboxing Federation Kenya is just the same as Kenya Extreme Combat Sports. Remember, the reason why I've decided to call it Kenya Extreme Combat Sports Federation is that it has all these kinds of martial arts styles. Because World Kickboxing Federation Kenya has all these styles like Muay Thai, we have boxing, we have kickboxing, we have K1, we have Sanda, we have a lot of styles that is in it. So all these are extreme. And when it comes to extreme combat sports, extreme means a championship that, let me say, or a tournament that we have different kinds of styles that are fighting in, where we can be having taekwondo, we can be having boxing, we can be having kickboxing. So it's just the same thing. But now remember, World Kickboxing Federation, that's an international entity for us. And we can't register back here in the country with the word world first, because it will be something international. So we have to start with our country name, which is Kenya. So we decided to take the extreme combat sports that is in our main World Kickboxing Federation international entity and put it together with Kenya. So we decided to make it as Kenya Extreme Combat Sports Federation. So it's just one thing. So people shouldn't be like, okay, Takid is the World Kickboxing Federation Kenya president, and now again is launching the Kenya Extreme Combat Sports Federation. Does it mean that he has left World Kickboxing Federation Kenya? No. We'll still be using the two logos, even if it's in our certificates or anything else. So World Kickboxing Federation Kenya will still be the same as Kenya Extreme Combat Sports Federation. We are one thing under one umbrella of World Kickboxing Federation.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you're launching it on 23rd?
On the 23rd, that's next week, Saturday. It will be in Nakuru. Remember, we have a seminar in Nakuru. The seminar was supposed to be here in Nairobi.
All right.
Not Nairobi, Central Province, because KIST, Kiambu Institute of Technical whatever. So we had to put it there, but we decided that now that in Nairobi we've had 3 events, it's good to give back also to different counties, and we decided Nakuru was the best county because remember Nakuru clinched this President's Cup that was there last month. You were there, you yourself, you watched everything. Sure. And Nakuru for sure is a hub of good fighters. They're really talented, so they had to clinch the cup. So I decided to give back to them as that society, so that it could also bring in more fighters from their region. And their region, I think their region has a lot of fighters so far, like 100 of them, and many ladies also. So that's why I decided, and I decided to take this chance to at least launch it there that day, and also launch our official logo for Kenya Extreme Combat Sports Federation. Yeah.
Well, I've seen like you like sort of go county to county, and do seminars there, and now you are heading to NAX. You're supposed to do it here, I think, at Kiambu.
Yeah, Kiambu.
Well, the idea of going to counties, having these seminars, what is the aim?
I remember this. We are working with the Kenyan Sports Ministry threshold that says that we should at least venture or traverse not less than 24 counties in our federations to be at least well known and also be supported by the government. So that's what I'm trying to do. And another thing, remember that we always have these good fighters from different counties. There's one problem that we always do as leaders in different federations, whether be it football, be it athletics. We always work hard on making sure that it's only in Nairobi, the capital city, that we get fighters, we get footballers, we get athletes. But at least with athletics, you can get people like Eliud Kipchoge, Kipyegon, you get them from Iten and every kind of rural areas, let me say. But now when it comes to these things like combat sports, combat sports is all about all these martial arts, taekwondo, kickboxing, boxing, all these. We found out that we get people from Eastlands, from different places, just in Nairobi.
Right.
When it comes to football, people like Oliech, Wanyama, whoever, they were all from these schools here in Nairobi. So to me, I'm feeling like it's good to go deeper into different grassroots and that's different counties, so that we can get best of the best. And I'm sure that with these combat sports, for sure, there are regions that we can get good fighters.
Okay.
And you know what I mean when I say that. So that's why I've decided to venture in different kinds of counties. Like now, we are in Nairobi, we are in Mombasa, we are in Kilifi, we are in also Kiambu, Moranga, Homa Bay, and Nakuru. And Nakuru has proved to be the biggest hub of kickboxing. Not only kickboxing, even good boxers, you know that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, when you talk about now decentering the sports, and you remember most of the time the notion that people thinks like good fighters, rather good boxers actually comes from Nairobi, and you'll see like most of the trainings are best here at Nairobi. Well, now that when you go down there to other counties and even to machinanis, and they're trying to explore, or rather to exploit the talent that are there, to nurture them, and even to tap into these raw talents, probably what is the one thing, even as you talk about the success of Nakuru County actually proving to be a hub for this talent, what is the one thing that you have actually noticed during these tours into counties?
What I've noticed, number one thing, what I'd say is that it's a mere thought from many people that Nairobi County has all these best players in different kinds of sports. That's a lie, according to me. What I would say, yes, even me, myself, I was in Nairobi County. But the only thing is that we have opportunities. You see, it's a capital city, so you could get all these facilities from different places. You could also have things on, like let me say, online to watch and to venture into different skills, unlike people from rural areas, for sure. And that's why now, if we go deeper and get into rural areas, that would help. It doesn't mean that they are not good guys. They are really good. Like now, if you look at these schools that really ventured high into football, they are not in Nairobi, for sure. Game, I don't know, the other one is from Western, where you see. And if you get into athletics, it's in Rift Valley. If you get into, let me say, almost everything, those guys work hard, but exposure, that's the only problem that they don't have. And they don't have a way to get into these offices to at least be given these chances. So that's the reason why, to me, I think that if you want to have a strong national team, because remember on the 28th of October, we'll be having a big tournament that will be selecting our main national team that will be representing Kenya in any international assignment. And for us to make it work, we must go deeper into different counties. So to me, what I think is the support. But if I talk about the support, I don't think Nairobi County, we are being supported even that much than even Nakuru County. Nakuru County Government Office has been supporting the Nakuru County World Kickboxing Federation Kenya or Kenya Extreme Combat Sports Federation Office really hard. And that's why you saw them that day in Pumwani. They were given the transport and everything, and they came in, everything was well. And that's what we'd also work on, supporting from Nairobi. The only thing that might make people see that Nairobi is maybe venturing more into these combat sports is because me as the president, I'm also in Nairobi, so I'm pushing things by myself. But we don't have that much sponsorship that is helping us to reach that threshold. But I'm just pushing on my own to see how things are. But we have good sponsors like now UK, UTV, the media are supporting us a lot. You know, sponsorship, I always tell people, it's not all about money. It's all about anything that somebody can support you with. So publicity is number one thing. And that's why World Kickboxing Federation Kenya right now, or Kenya Extreme Combat Sports, is now gaining momentum in this country, and people are joining more and more.
Well, you talked about the opportunities that are available here in Nairobi, and because owing to these opportunities, could you think maybe this could be another area that might be a challenge, especially for you, as you keep on now, you transition with the journey of actually, taking the gospel of, combat sport into, the country and even the world. Do you think this lack of these opportunities in those other counties could be the challenge, that maybe we're not seeing good fighters, rather, something like that?
I won't say that there'll be a big challenge, because number one thing, that's why we have devolution. The constitution says it well, and we are lucky that we have the devolution. So the governors in different counties should also push on, because I can say that they're working hard well for sure. Because if I look at AUMA Bay, I could see they even have a stadium already, thanks to Gladys Wanga. She's been doing well there. And I think if we get to AUMA Bay County, for sure, the way we've already started maneuvering there, and we are traversing there a lot. So they'll be supported, because they've been supporting even taekwondo there. So it's not hard to support kickboxing. And you've seen they've even they are venturing more, or pushing more into making the sports, every sports counted there, because of the youth. Remember, the youth, they are really energetic for sure, and if they can't get anything that makes them utilize that energy, they would the result would be just getting into drugs and everything else that won't help them. So what I would say, if you go back even to Mombasa, the county is also supporting all these sports. So what I would say is that it's upon me as the leader to go in deeper, and the leadership that I also have in my office, we go make sure that we venture into these counties. We face the county officials and the governor and everything. Then I think these things will work, man. It will work. Trust me. Yeah.
All right. Even as now we talk about the gym, there is this notion that is out there, that is associated with boxing. Some might call it myth, that when I go to boxing, I'm going actually to keep myself busy, out of crime. This notion, does it mean that for me to join boxing first, I must now fight the vice?
I think it's just a notion, because me, what I would say is that whatever you join, whether it's football or whatever talent you join, even if it's music, when it keeps you busy, because remember what they do say, that an idle mind is a devil's workshop. So if you engage yourself into anything that makes you busy every day, day by day, for sure, from morning to evening, for sure you won't be in all these issues of thuggery or anything else. So I won't say that it's only boxing or kickboxing or taekwondo. It depends with whatever you do. So that's why we always say that CBC came in, and I support CBC a lot, because when our kids started from there, then they venture into different kinds of talents. It will make them busy, and once it makes them busy, they will be having this vice of crime getting down for sure. And remember this, even if you teach them, they become like Muhammad Ali. They become like the Takids or anyone else, or the Wanyamas, and you don't have anything to engage them, like these championships, or they go for championship, they go home without even food that they can put in their table. Remember, all these guys, all these fighters, some are fathers, some are mothers, some are kids to different people, and they also need rent and anything else for their livelihood. So if you just give them this fight, they have the skills, they're champions in their own way or rights, but they don't have any income, that won't result into anything. So that's why I'm saying this. Even if you're giving them these talents, even if these federations are there, and there's no way we are putting things into order, at least to make these champions, or let me say fighters, get their livelihood or well-being being taken care of with the federations of the government, we'll still have even more tougher people on the streets who will be criminals, because they can use their skills in different things which won't help. So that's why it's good to engage them into something, and that's why we always have them in our militaries, discipline forces like KDF. We have them in National Police Service, NPS. We have them in National Youth Service, and different places, and also trainers in different schools, because right now kickboxing is even in schools. And we are sending our different coaches to go and train there, so that they can get something to feed their families. So it's something that this is a career thing. Yeah.
All right. Well, now that you've talked about, the things are there and even the journey ahead. Now, let's now come back to this extreme combat sport. The task ahead is quite a huge one for you as a president. And now that you want now to build your house and actually, put everything in order so that you can steer ahead the journey ahead of you. So take us through the process that what should we actually expect as far as this particular federation is concerned in terms of its constitution, the constituting part, not the constitution of the nitty-gritty of it, the constitution part. We have you as a president, so are we expecting some sort of election or something for the officials?
There's no election yet. The election will come with time. Right now, what I'm trying to do, because even as the president, I wasn't elected, I was appointed. Through what I used to do with different kinds of federations, which were around kickboxing. So it's just a clean work. So what happens is that I'm the one to appoint my officials.
All right.
Then my officials must also be, they must work for sure. If you are not competitive, you can't be in the office. Another thing, number one thing that I always say is corruption. I wouldn't like to work with people who are corrupt, that whatever comes in to go and help our fighters, they get it for themselves. Like now, if we select the national team, there might be officials who might be biased. They see that, okay, I'm from Nakuru County, I'm from Nairobi County, I have to get one of my fighters here. Remember, I have my own club as Takid. And I won't select my people to come and fight for the national team because I'm the president. That won't work. Then another thing is all about, let me say, transparency. Everything on will work well. And my focus is to produce good fighters internationally. Right now, I do tell people every time, I'm not focusing locally. I'm now focusing internationally. Because after selecting the national team on the 28th of October, I'm now focusing in different countries like Tanzania, Uganda, Nigeria, Rwanda, Ethiopia, to go and compete. Because remember, even if we keep our guys here, they fight locally and they don't get any exposure, that won't help us internationally. They'll be going there, they don't know the rules, and in fact that's the reason of having all these seminars. Because you realize when you are there, some of our officials maybe didn't know even how to ref some guys, because you remember we could be having a referee from Taekwondo, he knows or is more professional from in the kick side. And if you have a referee who is also qualified for boxing, he is only good in the hand side to judge the punches. So as a mixed martial artist or a mixed martial arts federation or a combat sports federation with all these mixed martial arts styles, we are bringing on all these seminars. This is the second seminar, remember? The first one was in Kayole. So we are trying to make sure that we bring our officials together, the referees, the coaches, even our fighters, to know the rules and regulations of these sports, so that they can be well equipped with everything that is needed. Because if they go international, you might find out that somebody is good in Muay Thai. He might be using elbow and does a full contact fight. We have light contact, we have semi-contact, we have K1. Somebody is using maybe a different kind of technique that it shouldn't be used. So that's why seminar is really good for our fighters. And for us to make the future Adesanyas, Conor McGregor's, Ngannou's, and everyone else, I think it's high time we make our fighters go international and expose them. It's the same way like boxing. You saw yesterday, and Diego tried her best, and she became a silver medalist. And we were expecting that she would have made it to the Olympic bracket, but it's okay. She's still a champ. And it's because, you see, the government supported them to go to Cuba. They were training in Cuba before they went to Dakar, Senegal. So that's the only thing we are also targeting here in this martial arts.
When you talk about the support, actually, she has been out in Cuba training. And when you look at the performance, actually, this qualifiers, it was something to actually applaud and be proud. With the same standards, she was fighting against the world champion. And she managed actually to go all the way silver. And she has clinched the ticket because it goes to position 1 and 2. And by virtue of that, she's representing the country. Well, the importance of, partnership, even as we talk about how to, train our officials, now that you have talked about training our officials, because according to you feel like some are below the standard that is required. Well, from your own perspective, do you think just how far are we with this journey, and how best can we improve on this one?
We are still far as per now, let me say that, not that far. And that's why I'm pleading to well-wishers, the sponsors who are watching us and who can come and support us, that we have different seminars internationally. Like now we'll be having one just next week, but one in Australia. That's where our headquarters is for World Kickboxing Federation. And if we could get a chance at least to be sponsored to take even 2 officials, that would be a good thing, so that they go being international referees.
Okay.
Remember, even in football, we had one lady who went to represent Kenya it was in Australia, the World Cup for ladies. You see? Yeah. So that's what I'm trying to say. And remember, in my office, the head referee is a lady.
All right.
And my vice president will also be a lady. Me, I do tell people that gender equality is the best thing in this world. If you could do that, then you could engage everybody into this thing, and everything would work. And ladies are also good leaders. Remember that whatever they handle and they decide to do can work really well. And that's why I would pray that one day we would like to have a president who is also a lady in football and also in kickboxing. I do tell people that you asked me about the election thing, that if I might be having it in mind. I promised people that I'll only work for maybe 3 or 4 years. Then I'll pave the way for another leader, and I would only fight to appoint a lady to be at least the first president of combat sports, because I've never seen any combat sports here in Kenya with a lady as a leader. It's only in Kabaddi, which I see, and Kabaddi is also doing well. So what I would say is that we are open for anyone who can come on board and help us, support us. Because if we could take our guys to Thailand to do more Muay Thai, Australia to do more techniques, we take them even to China to do Wushu, we would have good professionals. And to take them, we need support for sure. Yeah.
Well, even as we come to the tail end of this, discussion, and we have highlighted some of, let's say the hit, the misses, and everything. But there is this still this one area that I think it's very, instrumental as far as this particular, the journey that you are undertaking right now is concerned. And I'm talking about, the steps forward. Yes, there is a process in every discipline.
Yeah.
You've seen in boxing, and one can agree that the most important thing is to expose our athletes and give them the quality training that they actually deserve. So far, we have highlighted one good example is Elizabeth and Diego, who many thought that maybe she's now coming to the tail end of her career. But owing to yesterday's performance and actually these qualifiers, it has taught us something completely different. Well, I want you to weigh in into your opinion, because you're talking about the umbrella of kickboxing. It cover all aspect of the martial arts. We have boxing in there, and now we're talking about the qualifiers. It's a good thing we have at least representative after maybe over 10 years. And now when you look at the overall performance, how will you rate it? Because we have a number of key fighters have actually missed out on this ticket. But how will you rate the performance even as you look forward to the future?
This is what I would say for sure. Since boxing started, and after Wangila, and we had different guys also like Nico Diambo, we have Okwiri now, who is also a pro. The performance for our national team hit squad for sure. To me, it was amazing, because it's not only Andiego. I think Andiego is being focused a lot because number one, she's a lady. Number two, Andiego had an accident some years back, which I think you also know.
Yeah.
And the fracture on her leg, many people didn't think that she would come back and bounce back to be a champion. And she has represented Kenya a lot, because last year she was busy representing Kenya even internationally, if you can remember, and her performance was okay. Yes, all hit squad performances were okay, but for the ladies team last time things weren't well. If you could remember, they were in which country? It was just an African country, if I'm not wrong. Cameroon, yeah. The performance wasn't that good. But I could say, even I had the CS Ababuna Mwamba himself talking about it, that at least he's happy that what they pumped in to support Kenyan team, the hit squad, to go and practice internationally in Cuba, has at least brought in something, which is a good achievement. It's true. This is the first time in like maybe 2, 3, 4 years I've seen Kenyan team performing well. Not only Diego, even the guys performed well. Trust me. True. I was watching everything. You remember, I don't only watch kickboxing or taekwondo. I watch every kind of sports for sure. But I'm not good in football, yes. But in all these combat sports or athletics, if you may ask me any question, I'm always concerned with that. So the performance is good. Coach Musa is doing well. The all technical bench is doing well for sure. And the CS has also done his part to sponsor them to go to Cuba. People were asking, I was in that group of Kenya Boxing. I'm in that group. If I do watch some people's comments, people are like, why do they have to go to Cuba? But now the answer is there. They've performed. And remember, the lady who took the gold medal to qualify for the Olympics is Andiego's rival. I think this is the third time they've met in the ring. But Andiego's performance was really key for sure. That was high. And I think if given a chance, maybe she might do even better.
All right. Well, your final remarks, even as we close this discussion.
My final remarks is that let all well-wishers, we are just appealing to all well-wishers to come on board, support us, and whoever is in Nakuru who can come for that seminar, it will be in Menengai Social Hall. Thanks to Nakuru County government for supporting us to give us the venue and different kind of support. And for all players who are there, not only kickboxers, whether you are taekwondoist, whether you are a boxer, and you'd like to come and learn more about all these combat sports styles, come on the 23rd. That will be next week, Saturday, in Menengai, Nakuru County, Menengai Social Hall. All will be well. We'll be there with different professionals, different doctors who will take you through nutrition, and also referees who will take you through rules and regulations.
All right. Well, thank you so much. Well, that is Takid Master. Now, shall I say satisfied Extreme Combat Sports
Kenya Extreme Combat Sport Federation President. Yeah, and still the World Kickboxing Federation Kenya President. It's the same thing, yeah.
All right. Well, now that is it, and I think now the explanation part of it is pretty much clear, and now we know what is actually its concern, what it entails, and actually the laid down procedure, and even what the future looks for this particular, extreme combat sports. And we'll keep tab on what is happening, and wish you all the best.
Thanks, bro.
All right. Well, there was some early kickoff that is between Liverpool and Wolves, and right now the score is 1-0 in favor of the host, Wolves. So that is something that is very quite interesting, and we are following up to see what is actually happening there. Well, we have a few comments here, and let me just read it through you. We have Julie. Julie, thank you so much. She says the show is lovely, watching it from Mombasa. Then we have Francis Maina, the sports show, watching from Kitengela. Asante sana, Francis, for that. And we still have Francis, Julie. Then we have Ian team, loving the show. Thank you all for tuning in, and of course we'll be taking a short break, but remember the conversation that we have been having here is all about the Extreme Combat Sports Federation. It will be launched next week, the 23rd of September in Nakuru, and the future is actually bright for the sport, just as it has been highlighted here by the president, and we wish the team all the best. So up next, I'll be taking a look at the local sports review, matters to do with the sports across all disciplines. Remember, we have the ongoing Africa qualifier still, that is the Kenya Rugby Sevens. They are hunting their ticket also to qualify, to participate in the Olympics that will be held next year in Paris, that is in France, and we'll be taking a look at what is happening there. You know, the team is currently in Zimbabwe, punching for that ticket. So we take a short break. When we come back, it's all Matters Sports Review.
Are you an aspiring media practitioner, a graduate, or you just want to advance your skills in television production? Then welcome to Kenyatta University, where education meets innovation. KUTV, the premier university television station in Kenya, is now offering short courses in TV studio, field technical operations, and video editing. Through these courses, you will acquire hands-on skills on camera operations, media production, lighting techniques, audio-visual editing, and sound and visual control, and how to operate key equipment in modern TV control room. Enroll today at KUTV and discover your full potential in cutting-edge TV broadcasting. Graduates of these courses will receive professional certificates. For more information, visit our offices at KUTV Studios or call us on 020-870-4252 or 020-870-4255 or SMS us on 0739-110-544. KUTV, a new experience.
Bajuka ni kama unarusha mikono, tingisha kichwa chungu usivunje kisogo.
Mbona nyinyi na wawasha nkikula nyama choma tu firifiri na
give me your hand and shoulder. Niko na pesa kushinda babako. Kasikia vibaya uko kwenu. Kasikia vibaya.
I want to flex my love.
And as you said, ignorance is not a defense. So how can one know without, crossing the bar on some of these issues?
I think before 2006, these offenses that amount to sexual offenses were categorized in the penal code. But the Sexual Offences Act was enacted in 2006. Mm-hmm.
This is my jam down.
I said, man, I will never give up. Na hata nikisota away. Show me something.
Everybody wanna feel like me.
You was like a river.
Real thing, if I never mama, I wouldn't believe it.
Hear me when I say just like.
Karibuni sana to the Church O'Clock Show. I'm your host, Esther Becky.
And my name is DJ Tero.
We start you off with a word of prayer and get you started with a live transformational worship experience. And have our minds renewed by the word of God on the word segment.
And not forgetting new music za hii wiki, yani ndakuwa bado nawapatia pale wasanii wamekuwa kiwakali. So make sure manzo tune in because zitakuwa zina flow pia pale, mixes kwa wingi yani zitakuwa zina come through, and pia performance yani from our gospel artist hapa on Gospel App
from 7 to
10 a.m. only on KUTV.
I'm Associate Professor in the Institute of Philosophy of Jagiellonian University in Krakow, Poland, and I'm the main coordinator of the Cafe project, which is being here hosted by Kenyatta University.
My name is Eva Hudoba. I am a project manager in this consortium. Keep watching cutting edge research at Kenyatta University Television.
Baada ya kutafuta kazi, tunaweza kuanzisha miradi yetu ambayo ingetusaidia kubadilisha maisha ya wazazi wetu.
Kwa vijana wenzangu, wengi wale hawana kazi, lakini ikiwa sisi wenyewe tutajiamini, tunaweza kujiajiri wenyewe.
Afrika kwa kweli tuna mahitaji ambayo ukiyasuluhisha unaweza kuathiri watu kwenye bara hili
bila woga. Watu huwa na uzalishaji zaidi, wanajawa na ujasiri, wanakuwa wabunifu na wanakuwa wenye maarifa.
Niliamua kuacha kazi, hata kama sitafanikiwa, nitakuwa nimejaribu, nitakuwa najua haiwezekani.
Hakuna kitu cha ajabu hapa. Kila anayepata ufanisi hufanya kazi usiku na mchana.
Kitu kitakusukuma na kuwezesha kupata maarifa ambayo hukuwa nayo.
Tunajaribu kutengeneza kitu kitakachopita mipaka ya nchi hii.
Ikiwa unataka kubadilisha ulimwengu, anza na nyumbani.
Alright, welcome back, and of course this is where we take you through the local and international sports review. And remember, a lot is happening. We have the ongoing Africa qualifiers, that is for rugby, and right now, as you can see my face, it's good news. Kenya has registered their first 2 wins. That is, they played against Nigeria 34-5, kudos. Then against Namibia, Thara thrashing 50-0, and of course one more to go, and then who knows, Pool B, we could be leaders. Anyway, so before we come to this particular subsequent sports review, let me remind you our question of the day. Remember, we are asking, do you think Shujas has what it takes to actually clinch the ticket? The results are there, but do you think they have what it takes to actually clinch this ticket? Keep talking to us on all of our social media platform. We are live at KUTV, that is on YouTube at KUTV Kenya. You can tweet me at AUMA Evans, at KUTV_Kenya. The hashtag to use, as always, on the spot, and we'll be sure to sample your feedback at the tail end of this amazing show. Well, remember, there is another match that is happening, and that is the early kick of the English Premier League early kick of the match between that is Wolves and Liverpool, and Wolves still leads with 1-0 goal against Liverpool. And the Kenya Premier League match, it's already the Saturday fixtures. These particular matches are still on. It's actually 11 minutes past the kickoff, and a few teams have already began their particular fixtures, and let me just take you through. We'll begin by the English Premier League fixtures, then I'll take you to Kenya Premier League fixtures. Then remember, the early kickoff was between Wolves and Liverpool at Molnex Stadium. Then later on at 5 p.m. we'll have Aston Villa will play host to Crystal Palace at Villa Park Stadium. Then we have Fulham will entertain Luton Town at Craven Cottage. Then Manchester United the mighty Manchester United. Of course, they will probably they will try to live up to the name, the mighty Manchester United. They'll sink further. Of course, they will be up against Brighton. Remember, Brighton have had some good outing. Their first probably 3 matches has been a success, and they will be playing against Manchester United. Manchester United will be wanting to bounce back. Will they manage this time round? Time will tell. Just a matter of time before that kickoff. Then we have Tottenham Hotspurs, who will actually, play host to Sheffield United at Tottenham Stadium. Then West Ham will entertain Manchester City at London Stadium. Then Newcastle will be up against Brentford at St James Park on Sunday. Bournemouth will play host to the mighty Chelsea, the Blues, the only team that has money, big money, with major signings. Will be playing against Bournemouth at Vitality Stadium. That is a match that, trust me, be sure to look out, because kesho kama si tano sijui, thank me later for Chelsea fans. Then Arsenal will be up against Everton at Goodison Park. Arsenal will travel to Goodison Park to actually tackle it out with Everton. That is the English Premier League fixtures. Then here in Kenya, then we have the Kenya Premier League fixtures. Remember the early this match has already kicked off. Then we have Bandari who will be playing against Ulinzi Stars, remember, at Mbaraki Stadium. That match is currently underway 13 minutes later. Then we have Kakamega Homeboys taking on Tusker FC. That match has already kicked off at Bohongo Stadium. Then we have FC Leopards will be playing, are playing Muhoroni Youths at Kasarani International Sports Center. That is Moi Sports Center. That is at Kasarani still. Then we have Nzoia Sugar vs Bidco United at Sudi Stadium. Then Shabana FC will be taking on Kenya Police at Raila Odinga Stadium in Homa Bay. Then on Sunday, we have Postal Rangers vs Sofapaka at Kasarani Annex. Then Talanta vs Murang'a Seals. Remember, Murang'a Seals are the league leaders, the only team that has registered 2 out of 2. And they currently lead the log with 6 points and a clean sheet. Wow, just amazing. And Kariobangi Sharks will play, or rather will entertain KCB at Kasarani Annex. And remember, the last match still that will be played tomorrow, that is the league leaders Gor Mahia FC will be playing against Nairobi City Stars. And it will be a replica of last season. Remember, it is this same Nairobi City Stars that actually handed Gor Mahia the league at the last day of the league, courtesy of 4-1 goals. Well, will it be a moment of bouncing back? Time will tell. And now I'm joined with my, pundit, Eugene mwenyewe. Yes. Thank you so much for making time.
You're welcome.
Ka weekend kamekuaje?
Kusawa na tutakuja tukumaliza tu weekend.
City kidogo bado naona mnajaribu ile mambo yenyu, lakini this time sioni kama mnatoboa.
Itabidi tu anze kuona, tafuta tu nini uone, kwa sababu currently still number 1. We have a 100% record with 4 wins out of 4. Na hiyo ndo sisi tu yani. We are born to win. No doubt.
Anyway, before sasa tukuje kwa international sports review, well, kuna some good news. And kuna qualification inaendelea pale Harare, Zimbabwe. Naona Kenya hapo already ishashinda mechi yake ya pili. Ya kwanza walicheza na Nigeria 34-5.
Uga Brothers.
Uga Brothers tukaonyesha who is the big boy. Then we have Namibia, South Africa Brothers. 50-0. I guess wako chini sana, that's why. Got flipped. But when I look at the performance, rather these qualifiers, we have a few teams here that are a bit, they have the caliber and the quality, and they actually have all what it takes to actually clinch this ticket. And the mere fact that tuko na the likes of South Africa in these particular fixtures, does it send some sort of worrying signal?
For Kenyans, tukaenda kuna nini confidence yetu. Hakuna kitu tutatusumbua kwa sababu we have done this not once not twice, unaona. So for us, the preparation, the resources we're going incurred into the camp inaweza tusaidia tu nini. We'll be able to surpass the group stages at all the way to the Olympics. So now sama, if we had confidence and we believe in ourselves, there's nothing to worry. Because out of the South Africans, the Namibians, wengi wako World Cup ya rugby the 15s, unaona. So tunasema wale players wamechaguliwa, these are the teams that are rookies. So we have confidence and we prepared very well actually to tushinda. And these two matches that tumecheza tumekuwa vizuri, cheki 15-0 na the likes of Inawaga. Kujiamini tu, mambo isonge mbele.
Ukiangalia kwa hii fixtures, tuko na South Africa. Unajua South Africa basically wametulemea by all pedigree. They are tall, head, shoulder, everything. And wanacheza at the big leagues, wako among the big boys. Actually, it is one of the rugby powerhouse
in Africa.
Wako hapa wanataka hii tiketi. Wewe kidogo hii ikiwa ni mlima sana kwa Kenya, because it serve like a litmus test for the team.
Mama anasema kitu moja, obvious kuna nganga na best na yani rankings huko. So tuseme uko na tuseme kuna the mentality that we are below South Africans, unaona. Tukana na hiyo mentality huko na tuseme hivyo, definitely tutakuwa defeated. Lakini with our preparations, we be optimistic that even though wako juu yetu, even though they have many resources than us, we prepared very well. Tulikuwa tunajua tunaenda kwa kucheza. Maybe tutaplan nao kwa mbeleni semi final, but tuko tuna ile imani. The preparations with the resources are going all the way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's good to keep hopes alive.
Yeah.
But hapa kwa ground,
hiyo sana si tuongee sasa. Hapa chini sana si tuongee.
Hapa ndo noma huko.
And kwa camp.
Ukiangalia even groups like group A, tuko na Tunisia, Cote d'Ivoire, Madagascar, South Africa. Kwa group A maybe South Africa ndo maybe wale wase. Then group C or group B tuko sasa na Zambia, Namibia, Nigeria and Kenya. So I think around kitu ni madakika tu tucheze na Zambia. Then tukiwa kanyaga, well, the group tunaitop. Alafu next sasa ni tungoje sasa semis na quarters, semis na finali, which yote inaisha kesho. So kesho ndo tutajua kama itiketi tunayo ama hatuna. Anyway, then hiyo ni group B. Ukikuja group C tuko na Zimbabwe, Algeria, Burkina Faso, alafu sasa Uganda. Hiyo sasa UG ando sasa mabingwa wa Africa. And this particular tournament tunajua ina serve as both Africa Rugby Championship na at the same time qualifier. So hapa tutatoka na bingwa wa Africa at the same time
qualified
tiketi. Well, in these two groups, these three groups, well, who do you think has all what it takes to actually maybe go all the way to the semis and maybe ajipate finali?
Nasema as a patriotic fan, as a patriotic fan, the Shujaas ndio, but yeye inaweza tupiga vibaya sana. Na UG ndio kidogo pale tupiga juzi, so tukikata vizuri tupige hizo timu mbili, we are the favorites to win, but favorite ile tu kweli the SS can go the way to win the nini.
I remember there is a time we were chasing the glory actually to take part in the Rugby World Cup, and there is this team, and actually naiona hapa Namibia. Walitufanyia nini?
Shida tupu tu yani, lakini tuko na imani na the Shujaas because tumeona the nini kuja kutupatia resources, more resources. Sasa mfuko iko sawa. Sasa wanasema walikuwa wanalanja, unaona. Sasa mfuko iko sawa. Sasa kwa kuna motivation, if we continue with the same results, more resources will be added to the camp. So itakuwa tunarudi pale tulikuanga kitambo, unaona. Sasa optimism ni muhimu sana kwa hii mchezo.
Well, kuna another aspect ya now the blending part. We have 6 debutants wenye watakuwa na take part for the first time. Then this the part of blending experience and the inexperience, this sort of transition, does it have a major impact? Because yes, the results are there for everyone to see. Very strong statement. 34-5, 50-0. Wow, such a strong statement. But do you think maybe this could be an area yenye maybe kidogo later on, maybe in the quarters, maybe semis hapo, it's something that inaweza tubabaisha kidogo?
What I think it will be tested huko mbeleni, huko kwa if to top groups you tena tukakosa with the less strong opponents so it will be tested huko semi na finali. The likes of South Africa Jordan lazima watafika na Uganda na Namibia, so you're gelling in of the smooth transition itakuwa tested huko mbele. Yeah, so hapo ndio itakuwa the real test.
Okay. Well, the winners of course will book direct ticket, then second place and third place will join teams from Asia, Europe, North and South America in the final slot, rather the final qualification. So whoever if you fail to clinch the direct ticket, don't worry, there's still hope for next time. Lakini wanasema mapema ndio best, so tuna hope maybe Kenya tamaliza hii kitu round 1 alafu to smile all the way to Paris. Tujikatie tiketi haraka. Now let's transition to yet another qualifiers, and this is the Africa Boxing Qualification, or rather the qualifiers championship that was held in Dakar, Senegal. And yes, in as much as tulitaka gold, but we have something to celebrate about. I'm talking about one of our very own, Elizabeth and Diego. She clinched the ticket, and sadly akumanage ku beat to Hadija ameprove kuwa thorn, and but good thing ni tuko na ticket. And prior to the tournament, or rather prior to this fight, and Diego alikuwa na 1, 2, 3 things to say about the fight, how or rather she thinks, and maybe prediction yake, and this is what she had to say.
Game imekuwa challenging kidogo, but nimetumia ujuzi wangu yenye najua kuweza kumkeep at a distance, na niko na imani nilimkuta na ngumi za nguvu, so hakuweza kurush kwangu, so hiyo ndio imemwezesha kumtuliza at least, na hiyo experience iko nayo imeniwezesha kushinda. So nashukuru kwa ushindi, na mafans wote nawaambia shukrani, coaches wote wamenisupport kwa hii journey, na wote wenye walijua bado niko sijadidimia, nawaambia at least bado yuko, I'm still pushing for my dream ni kuget hiyo tikiti, so one more fight and I'll be there. Shukran.
Hiyo height yake imekusumbua, na kuna vile inaweza kusaidia kwa fight inakuja, kwa sababu pia Khadija ni mrefu.
Huyu hajakuwa mrefu sana kama Hadija, so control imekuwa easier. Though Hadija ni mrefu, nimecheza naye mara 2, so this time round all na nilikuwa ni kumpelekea fight, naona ukimpush sana anakosa dira, so na yeye ni kumsukuma mpaka first round to last round, itakuwa tu kumvuruga yeye. Star box na yeye ni kumvuruga tu mpaka juu, nikibox na yeye najua atatumia ujuzi wake na urefu kuniweka mbali, so najaribu vilivyo, na weakness yangu ambayo ni ngao pia najaribu kutry niweze kucheza in fight, na najua nitakuwa mshindi at the end of the day.
All the best.
Thank you.
All right, well, that was before the fight between Hadija and of course Diego, and she acknowledged that her opponent is a tough one to beat, and by all standard she actually has some advantage over her, but as they say, this is a fight, a competitive one. At the end of the day, we have a winner and the loser, and for us I think it's a win-win ticket, bagged, and of course sadly maybe gold haikukuja, but anyway that's how it is. A quick one, unasemaje hii performance ya Kenya especially kwa hii qualifiers fight?
Some of the players, the boxers walijipush vile wanaweza, unacheki. So obvious kenda kwa ring kuna namba 1 na namba 2. So nasema the best one wengine when train to waliwako.
We wish Team Kenya all the best in that, and nataka sasa to transition to another something else that many people are actually expecting, the Football Kenya Federation elections. And out of this, actually, so far, it is 6 months to actually the election, but already we have 4 candidates. And one surprise name is the ex-Football Kenya Federation president, Sam Namweya. Well, what do you read in this strong lineup of candidate wenye sasa wanajitokeza waziwazi wakisema I think I'm the best guy kutoa Kenya to the turmoil and actually bring the light, because wanasema kuna light at the end of the tunnel. So wamesema hii light imekawia sana. And part of the reasons yenye Nyamweya ana feel like maybe he should come back because after thorough consideration, watching from a distance as a spectator, fan, stakeholder, and I feel like hii kitu inaendelea tu bado kuenda down the trail, and I think like sasa it's about time. Heri yeye. Well, these names Samuel Ochola ako hapo hivyo. Then we have former international that is former international that is we have Sam Kimpez Owino, still alikuwa anachezea goal sasa I feel like it's about now time to change the things. Then we have Hussein Mohammed. This is another very important sports personality as far as issues to do with football is concerned. So this race unaionaje?
Vile watu wameongea njoo kwa hiyo race, watu wameenda kuuza sera zao, unaona. Napata Nyamweya anasema the niwa kwanza huko kina nimeenda kwa tumefanya ameka tu chini sana jiuza. So pale hivyo ni kujuja tu vizuri. So if the election will be fair, na tu Nyamweya kirudi hapo hivyo apige his last time, so alikuwa apige ingine some years back, apige wa pili mandatory afu amalize. So I'm voting for Nyamweya to win.
But this is a guy mwenye amekuwa in this game for over 20 years, so to speak. Well, what is it about Nyamweya, or what is it that he feels aja achieve under that time that anataka sasa kuachieve now?
Nasema analeta experience to the table, experience ya the Kenyan docket to the table, Kenya football docket to the table, unaona. Ni kitu amekuwa hapo over and over again. Amekuwa na backlash, amekuwa na thing mzuri na cheki. So for me personally, Nyamweya because of his experience na kitu anaona, unajua msema ati from afar ameona there's something lacking in the sports industry na cheki. So his experience na what he saw kama msema ameona will eventually make him win. Afu tuombe mambo ibadilike because to be a new regime.
All right, well now the outgoing let's call him the outgoing president Nick Mwendwa, because he will not be vying because he has already served his 2 terms. I'll take the mantle 2016. Tunaelekea until where we are today. What is some of the key changes in unadhani Nick Mwendwa probably ameleta to this football fraternity, in as much as kumekuwa na ups and down, but what is the one success factor Danny we can actually remember him for that?
Personally mimi naweza kumremember for his drama. Yule jamaa remember alikuwa atolewa kwa ofisi, lakini alijipeleka mwenyewe kwa ofisi with a FIFA letter that he has been restricted into the nini. So nasema tu alikuwa tuna drama mingi, na hiyo drama ndio mzuri kwa vitu kama hizo. So on side we were able to be recognized by the FIFA board, tukarudishwa hiyo yetu ya kucheza international football. So anaweza sema his drama led to us being seen to the worldwide.
Okay. Well, and under his tenure still tuliona much of development of women football. Tumekuwa na very vigorous coach training from CAF D all the way to CAF A. So in as much as wanasema mgala muwe na hakimpe, so that's as far as this particular election is concerned. So now let's switch gears now to Kenya Premier League. Well, today a couple of matches are currently underway, and one thing that there is this one team yenye mimi personally main surprise sana, Moranga Seals. Well, walikuja
karudishwa.
In fact, yeah, there is a time I'll try, then after the league imekuwa disbanded, wakukufa moyo like the rest, they went there kasema like, because to make it we can still do it again, wakafight all the way, wakaqualify, wakakama hapa, then wana set the pace and the tempo. Currently wana lead the log pale, 2 games, 2 wins, 2 clean sheet,
6 points.
Do you think it's about time now the dominant dogs are now of Somel the label?
It's too early to say that. We are in game week 2 out of game week 26, but the results zilizopatia motisha because it's the wako kwa KPL naona. So your results can to hivyo na endelea kujituma hivyo. We can say that watafika mahali, but it's too early to say that they can be champion because bado mbali. The likes of Tusker jakuja, the likes of Gor Mahia, the dominant champions na come. For now, congrats to them, but waendelee na hiyo tempo. Because there will be times watakuwa wanapana the real teams like na Gor Mahia na FC Leopards na kina KK Kakamega. So hapo ndio sasa waoneshe, by the way, we are not here to joke, we are here for business. Tutawapiga. Wakipiga your tests, wa maintain number 1. Sasa tutaona yenyewe they're in for some great business.
So according to our okay, even as we take shape, well, inaweza kuwa tu ni kierere tu hivi, then
for now ni congrats. Hii ni moto ya gazeti and is haraka.
Alafu let's take a look at performance ya hizi team kubwa, the big boys. Got their first match, it was a disaster. A 1-1 draw against Sofapaka. Then their second match, at least just a win. And before the international break now, tomorrow they'll be up against Nairobi City Stars in a team and actually will hand the league
last season.
Because walichapa 4, waka keep the momentum, wakakuwa champion because the race was a bit tight between the two teams. Well, this time round unaona the trajectory bado ni same, farasi ni mbili ama pengine kuna kapunda kadogo hapo?
For now, because of what is being done on the clubs, na not bado farasi hata ni moja tu because Tusker pia manza kusua so kwingine unaona. For now ndio hata hivi umesema hivi tunaona Tusker iko chini 1-0 against KK Kamega. Inaweza masa farasi to back to Gor Mahia ama Moranga Seals kuje pia ifanye mambo unaona. But farasi ni moja tu ile Gor Mahia pekee. Hata timu yangu suna Leko FC Leopards karibu 14-15 huko, no win, only a draw.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, for me, I think Tusker never equate to. There is this very famous athlete. Actually, she runs 1,500 meters, 5,000 meters, and 10,000 meters. I'm talking about Sifan Hassan. When you look at Sifan Hassan, most of the time when, at the start of the race, normally most of the time you will find her going, hunting slowly. Then the last lap, it's where she actually, shows her true colors and her prowess. And most of the time, Tusker has proven to be the Sifan of the Kenyan Premier League. Their start, very slow, but the finishing, very strong. So for me, I think Tusker is still a team to watch, given the quality of players, the caliber of the coach, the team's history, and of course, the nature of the Premier League. So for me, the horse might be 2.
Gor and Tusker.
Tusker, Gor, probably the rotation. Because for the last, I think 5 seasons, the rotation has been between the two teams. But It also even very important to take a look at the rise of teams like, let's say, the Kenya Police. Last season we even saw Bandari FC even keeping the tempo. So then we had the likes of Nzoia Sugar. So this time round we are still waiting for that dark horse. So now the big question is, between now we have the newbies. Shabana came with a lot of hype, after winning their National Super League.
Yeah.
Then they came, they have played 2 matches, draw. Today they face Kenya Police. Will this be the time now they squeeze that win?
For Shabana? I don't think, because this is Kenya Police. Kenya Police kuna ile uzoefu. Unaona? And wamekaa kwa ligi for so long. So I think Shabana for now, wangoje tu ile time watapata win yao against a smaller team, but not Kenya Police.
But I remember, like, is it 3 seasons ago? The rivalry between Shabana and Kenya Police. It was, chaotic during their days in the National Super League. Now they meet for the first time after maybe 3 years ago. So, well, that, the vibe, the enormity between the two teams, maybe there's a spark some sort of renewed, anger.
Itakaa tu, lakini sana utana na the experience one in the league. This is your first time in 3 years, this is the third in 3 years, unaona. So ile uzoefu, mimi nimekuwa hapa KPL for 3 years, so nimekam saa hii. So there's always a change, kuna hiyo change. We were both in NSL, yes we were like a derby in NSL, but now nimekuwa mbele yako for 3 years. I have the experience, I have the knowledge of how this league works. So for me, nadhani tu vizuri sana. It will be but obviously Kenya Police will win.
Right. But there is another too early though, ni mapema sana kujudge. Kuna team nyota yake kidogo inaanza kufifia.
Timu gani?
Ni Ingwe.
Kidogo ni kama ni nili.
What is happening with the FC, by the way?
Labda ni the board uko juu, kwa sababu each and every time wako na high hopes, each and every time wanasema ni mashemeji, each and every time wanang'ang'ana, but the results are not showing. Kila mara tu ni na cluster huko chini. I say wanafaa tu transition kila kitu. You see, from the board going all the way down. Wametu ni revamping of the squad, kila kitu. Wanze tu 10 ya mpya. Hata wametu ni NSL wanze vizuri, because for now wamekaa KPL for almost 20 to 30 years, but there's nothing to show for it.
Well, the team has been hit with the financial crisis. Do you think maybe some of this could be the reason why maybe a team is struggling? Because they have to pay their players, pay a team that has been hit with sanction. They need to pay former players, coach. How can a team, survive with all that burden over your back?
With the pay resources pina inaingilia pia, kwa sababu if I don't have money, how can I play? And na play aje well if pocket yangu iko kidogo, unaona. So you must satisfy your players for them to show their strongest level up. So now some resources pia inakaa mimi na factor, because they have to travel aje bila mafuta imepanda, unaona. Juu kwa kuna ndege, kuna kwa gari, kwa road hadi kwa ground. Kama mtoka Kakamega hadi Nairobi 8 hours, how will they manage that without money, unaona? So I think resources inaingilia hapo kadi.
Good. Now that is a good point to switch over now to international. Tumekuwa na early kickoff, that is Wolves na Liverpool. Then that is okay, so far too early to judge, game of football, it's all about 90 minutes. You remember what happened between Manchester United and Arsenal? Kidogo hivi dakika 6 ka uongo hivi, ndio hiyo
pili ya tatu
mtu amepigwa amekanyagwa,
anza kulialia referees juu nini,
kama kawaida tu venye inakuaga, lakini nawaambianga wako chini lakini wasikiange. Anyway, Aston Villa of course watakuwa wanacheza against Crystal Palace pretty quick. Where unaona hii swindle ina fall kwa nani?
Aston Villa, because of their squad and their coach. Aston Villa to win.
Okay. Then Fulham, Luton Town.
Fulham, Luton bado hata wana ground, When their home match was postponed because the ground was not level up with the Premier League. Watulie kwanza.
When you talk about a team in the English Premier League, ground kidogo noma, for me actually it baffles me.
Kuna ile levels fulani ndo uweze kuwa registered in the EPL. Your ground inafaa kwa some level. So ndio ground yao iko kwa community. Naweza kwa nje kwa unapika bwana ndio inakugonga. It's literally in the middle of a town. Little town. So naona. So inafaa revamp hiyo nini kwanza vizuri. Ndio maana most of their matches, home matches zinakuwa postponed. Postponed moja na Burnley. So na sema kwanza atulie kwanza, watafute pesa. Waingie vizuri.
Jiunde
vizuri.
Alright, then Manchester United, Kiburi FC na Brighton.
Hakuna kitu kingine. Loss 3-0. Hii ni Brighton. Last time walipigwa 4. Ali in the league in the season. Pia wanapigwa because they don't have the players. Wengine wanapigana huko kwa jela, jana. Wanapiga mpoa wako kwa jela. So sema kitu moja jamaa ni Kiburi ndio uko nayo na mdomo. Hiyo watakushinda, but kwa ground mchezo ball wako chini.
Now talking about Brighton. Brighton hata wanyang'anye wagatu wanyonge lakini
they always have
bado
players.
Shine.
Yeah, they always have players. Dizabi is something is doing that team because in the last 2-3 summer windows wameuza watu wao karibu wengi, but the team is really performing well. Last time wameingia Europa last season. So there's something that Dizabi is doing that is really making the team look big.
Tottenham, Sheffield United.
Tottenham win because wanakuja vizuri sana hiyo Tottenham. But the next challenge itakuwa sasa after Sheffield because tutapana na Arsenal na Liverpool. Hapo sasa kutakuwa na challenge. But for today Tottenham will win.
But unaona kama kuna challenge walipatana na Man U wakafinya.
Man City team. Kwanza hiyo tutoe. Man City team ni Arsenal la Liverpool na Man City. Man U hakuna kitu. Man U kwanza hata tutaona Man City.
Unajua kuna mali unakosea ndugu. Team ni 3.
Lakini sasa Chelsea.
Team ni Manchester City, Liverpool na Chelsea. Arsenal achana nayo.
Chelsea pia.
Ni kierere tu ile ya kawaida.
Chelsea pia hakuna kitu.
Now talking about Tottenham, actually their coach amekuwa nominated of course, and we'll be talking about the FIFA nominees, these awards. So this is a very a coach actually alitoka Celtics, and Celtics it's a performing team. And so maybe do you think the experience and good performance that may replicate up?
For now, as far as tumefika game week 5, yes, it shows is a good coach.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, the match between Liverpool and Wolves, I remember kuna update. It's 1-1. And equalize. So let's wait and see how it will go. Well, then we have Newcastle and Brentford. Where quick prediction on that one?
Hii ni ngumu because Newcastle is shaky for now. Naona the last 3 games wamekula L. So it will be shaky, but let's hope Newcastle to win. Ndio form. Wanaenda ku represent huko UEFA na kuna kina PSG kwa group. Sasa itakuwaje kama wanapigwa na kina Brentford? Na kuna kina Mbappe.
Ndio mimi nilikuwa nakwambia. I think last season kulikuwa na makosa fulani.
Makosa hiyo ni top 4.
Sasa yes, City ni sawa. Jueni best yangu haina noma hiyo. Lakini Manchester United wanafanya nini huko? Arsenal.
Arsenal imepewa timu ya group ya Europa takina PSV. Newcastle ndio shida. Hata tugoje, acha sema hiyo last nini ni kama hakuna tugoje tu yetu sasa.
Okay. Then on Sunday sema the mighty Chelsea.
The mighty Bournemouth.
Chelsea versus Bournemouth. Unaonaje?
Tena kwa mimi mtapigwa. Kwanza mtapigwa. Reasons. Naona pivot yenyewe Kaisedo na nani na Enzo. The chances hawatacheza. Kwa nini walikuwa huko high altitude kwa Bolivia, huko representing the national team. So the chances hawatacheza. Mko injury sasa karibu ya first team yenu wote karibu zote wangapi? So kwa maana kana wale watu wa dread zio kana nani? Wale watu wa salon sio guchu nani? Hiyo team itakuja kupigwa, itapigwa kesho, hiyo nani niko sure. We're going to lose.
Mimi naweza kukwambia na vile usema because we have money. Si ati nataka ni kuashue. Take this to the bank. Take this to the bank. Kesho tunafinya mtu 5 bila jibu.
And when was the last time we won 5-0? Nikitaka hata pre-season amwezi funga bao 5.
Pre-season tulikanyaga mtu, unasema nini? Hilo
lakini 5
bila jibu. Bila jibu.
Tutakuwa tu hapa.
Alright, then Everton Arsenal.
I'm voting for Everton to win for the first match of the season.
Are you talking as a real football fan ama kama hater?
As a football. Wana kielele sana.
Alright, now sasa let's talk about you know, the FIFA Best Men award. I mean FIFA nominees. Then we have the best nominees players, that is male category. Let me read very fast. Julian Alvarez, Manchester City. Kevin De Bruyne, still Manchester City. Kylian Mbappe, Lionel Messi, Victor Osimhen. These are just among those who have been nominated in the men's players best men's player award. Then best women nominees, we have Aitana Bonmati, that is from Barcelona. Then Linda Caicedo, Real Madrid. I guess this is Caicedo's sister. Then we have Lindsay Horan, that is Olympic Lyonnais. Then we have Lauren James, Chelsea. And then we have the best FIFA coach nominee. We have Pep Guardiola, Manchester City. Simon, this is for Inter Milan. Then Luciano Spalletti. Napoli. And best FIFA women coach nominee, Peter Gertsson, that is from Sweden, Sweden national team. Then we have Jonathan Gildes, that is Barcelona. Emma Hayes, Chelsea. Then Sarana Wigman, England. Then the best men goalkeeper nominee, very fast, Yassim Bonu, Morocco and Sevilla. Then we have Ederson, Manchester City. Andre Onana. But alionana na Rice na Yesu. Akakuwa confused. Then finally but not the least, wa mwisho kabisa, Katrina Baga, that is Catalina Cole, Mary Ip, then Christiana Endler. Then we have Mosovic. This is the female goalkeeper nominees category. Well, these are the people that has some of the best coaches and best players, goalkeepers that will be eyeing for the FIFA awards. And from that, ladies and gentlemen, we thank you so much. Remember, our question of the day was: do you think Shujaz has all what it takes to actually clinch the ticket to qualify, or rather the ticket to represent Kenya in the Olympic, that is the 2024 Paris Olympic? Do you think Shujaz has all what it takes to qualify for the Olympic 2024 in Paris, France? That was our question of the day. And of course, remember, the posting of the result was something quite amazing. The opening statement, quite good, and in fact a strong one. 50-0, 34-5. Wow. Up next is Zambia. Well, will they replicate the same results that we have just seen? Well, time will tell. And that match actually is just a minutes away, just a few minutes away before kickoff to that, and it will be the third match and the final one as far as Group B is concerned. And on that note, we come to an end of this, a very amazing show. Many thanks for you, our dearest fans, for making it, lively. You're the reason why we are here. And of course, for all those who made this production a success, from my, director over there, producer, all the best, including my cameraman here, many thanks. And of course, for you, my ever, hater, but we love each other. Thank you so much.
Welcome.
For gracing this screen. And of course, we wish you all the best. Do have a lovely weekend and enjoy yourself. Remember, London is always blue, and I reckon Nairobi is blue. Many thanks. Salute.